Hey guys, it's Doc, and today we're out here and I'm really excited about this because we're actually running the Excavator, the finished production model. You may have seen us run the pre-production prior to the changes, and today we actually have one of the finished units. This is the way it's shipping out in this final stage, so I'm really excited about it. So I'm going to be shooting a little bit with my hand cam too, but I wanted to sort of go over some of the features about it. But this thing, you got to understand, this thing weighs in at only 17.5 pounds. That's it. So the whole purpose of this was to create a mini, but a high production mini, because most minis typically are pretty limited as far as production mode. You might be able to do a bucket in 20 minutes and it has a low flow. You just can't work that much material. But this unit, the whole reason why we designed this unit was extremely high production. We wanted a high production rate. We wanted to be able to run, and we've run this, and I think you can probably get 1 to 1.5 tons, which probably is close to 75 buckets an hour through this thing. Extremely high production. But I'm going to go through some of the features on it real quick, run it through you just so you can see it. But and I'm going to shoot a little bit with the cam here, but this is sort of that boiling box or melting box that we created. And then it has a skimming tray. And now your skimming tray here, this classifier actually only lets, it's 1/4 inch slots. The material falls down, and the material falls onto this punch plate here, and it creates sort of a fluid bed and gets the water moving, accelerates it real quickly. And then it's going to hit, a UR. So I've got UR, and then I go to scrubber the rest of the way down. That's the setup we'll be shipping it with. I also wanted to point out that we were going with a bar system to hold this up. We went ahead with adjustable legs, and there's different levels because you want to be able to adjust this depending on what you're running, whether you're running a gas or electric on this, because you can run both. These new leg designs, this is an all aluminum leg, so it keeps it lightweight, and we actually had these brackets engineered for us specifically. I actually had to have a company go in and engineer this so they're super strong. But overall, just a great little unit. Again, the majority of minis that you're going to see out there really they're sort of based for beginners, I guess you would say. They're low production. It might take you 15 minutes to run a bucket. There's a little bit of a water trickle. There's not a heavy exchange. And most people buy a mini and then end going up. It's not what this is. This unit, and this is why it took me 6 months to actually get this unit done, was because I wanted an extremely high volume mini. In other words, once someone bought this, they bought this for portability. This is a great 1 or 2 person unit. You can run this unit off the small 2.5 horsepower pumps as long as it's 3000 GPH, or they call it 50 gallons per minute. You don't have to have a big pump. That's how it runs best. So it's a 22-pound pump, it runs by handle, very economical. And I'm going to show you the plumbing system. Again, we keep it extremely simple. But what I wanted to show you, and I'll zoom in on this too, is I came up with this system. It's sort of just sort of a click system where it's just a straight PVC pipe that goes in, and as it goes in, it goes up under this chamber, and all it does, it just clicks into place. So now this clicks into place, and all your water is going into this melting box, we'll call it, and it boils, and it gets held into place. It's nice firmly in place. You hitch it up to a 1.5 inch hose. Here are your electric if you want to run an electric, but I prefer the gas. And you're ready to go. Real simple, real lightweight. Again, 17.5 pounds on this whole unit. It'll run 1.5 tons per hour, which is, for most people, I would say you're looking at probably 60, 70 buckets an hour that you can run through this unit. It's 36 inches long. It's just fantastic. All the testing we've done on this is phenomenal. Now, I do want to tell you one thing as far as the setup. When you do your setup, I really like to see you always set this unit up extremely high pitch first. That's the first thing you do, is you over pitch it. I don't want to see anything staying in the mat. You never start it slow because your mat will start to fill up with gravel. So you're going to take it, you're going to run it extremely fast down this unit. get it at 3 or 4 inches pitch, 3 or 4 per foot. I mean, it's going to look like a ski slope. You're going to want to run this thing, start it off extremely fast and get your water going, and then you can adjust your box. Now your box adjustment, you simply just, the less you classify, the more you have to tilt your box up. So if you're running big 2-inch rocks through here, 3-inch rocks, you're going to have to tilt this up more. I prefer to keep it down as much as possible. Again, these are adjustable. These little legs here, the braces that hold it up, they're adjustable. So you can adjust them. Hooks in here, comes down, and you can adjust this. The nice thing is you don't have to lock it in. You can actually swing these legs inside the box and they'll hold it up until you get ready to set it up. So again, you're going to start it off with an extremely high pitch. You do not want to start it off low and then try and go faster. You always set it up extremely high. I can't stress that enough. And you just dump and go. You're going to see it. We're going to run it. But phenomenal unit. We've run it. It'll catch fines. Tons of -100 we're catching here, -50s. Plus it'll also catch larger gold. So again, there's pretty much zero classifying on this unit. And that really was our goal. Our goal was get rid of the classifying, which is what slows you down. The classifying is the #1 slowing process. So if you have a small unit that self-classifies, runs a lot of material, heavy exchange rate, that's what you're going to want to, that's exactly what you're looking for in a unit. Because it's a heavy exchange and it uses our matting, it uses the UR and the scrubber mat in this system, you can run material and run material and run material. It's going to constantly exchange. And when we did our test the last time, people say, well, I want to hold all my black sand. Remember, you're not mining black sand, you're mining gold. You're going to have a huge pile of black sand if you're running 40 buckets of material through this thing, and it has to exchange that out. That's why there's a tuning effect on our mats, and everyone needs to adjust that. But the unit's really neat. I just want to sort of get a glimpse of it close up for you. But there's the whole unit. This is your main box. Your main box swings down and goes inside this box down here. So portability wise, it's amazing. This whole box, you leave it attached. We made it a little bit smaller so it folds inside this box. Your legs come off, your legs go inside. Everything goes inside the box and you carry it in with a pump. So you're pretty much done. But really good looking unit, high quality piece. Again, it took me probably, it's been in my mind for a year, and I went ahead and I said it took me 6 months so I could get this thing perfect. One of the reasons why this took so long is because I wanted to go out and look at the other minis too and say, and talk to people running minis and say, what do you not like about it? Well, I don't like the matting, or I don't like the low flow, or I don't like that I can't run enough material. And that's why we just didn't want to come out with another mini. We wanted this unit to be high production, like I said. So all we're going to do is we're going to start up the pump. I'm going to run 2 buckets. The 2 buckets will probably take me, I mean, you can do a bucket in a minute easy through this machine. You're going to see that real quick. Okay guys, so I got the unit running. I've got the pump. I'm using a big pump right now, and I've got it just set at idle. But I wanted to show you what the unit looks like when it's running. So here's your pipe connection. It comes in here. The water all goes into here. If you're using electric, it's going to spray up under here. But I'm going to feed this right here. You can see that it's skimming. Rocks will come off this end and exit out here. Now you can see up under here how this water falls down and cascades and hits, a lot of it hits that screen right there. It's going to come down, and you can see how it's running right down here. And that's about the water speed I'm looking for on this right here. I don't want to see rooster tails. I want to see rounded humps in here, but I want to have a good water speed on here. I might even speed it up just a little bit. But that's what it looks like when it's running. Again, that's not a whole lot of water. That's probably about 3,000 GPH, which is where you want to be. Now I want to show you one trick. When you first adjust this thing, here's my recommendation. You don't attach these legs and you just set them inside like this. The reason why is because as you change your pitch on this box is also going to change. So if I change the pitch on this box, this pitch is going to change. So it's kind of a pain in the butt because you got to go back and unscrew the wing nut. So I'm even going to run it, I think, just with these legs inside for now. But if you're going to run it all day, now you can take this off once you know it's running right. Permanently attach these legs. I've just got them sitting on the mat right now on the inside on the corner. Actually, I think, Tom, why don't you come over and just take a scoop, just put about half a scoop or a quarter of a scoop in there. Yeah. So he's going to feed a scoop in. I want you to see what happens on this. So you can see what happens. All those rocks clear off. Hold up one sec. Now the mat is active in here. I probably want to have a little bit faster mat, so I'm going to increase the speed a little bit. And Tom's going to do a little bit of shooting while I feed this thing, but again, this is 2 buckets of material, and I can fill it pretty much as fast as I want. The box is cleared. Mat looks good. I might want to have it a little bit faster, but I can trickle it in, slow down the feed rate a little bit. But I mean, it's really doing well. Matter of fact, I could even probably drop this box down a little bit. And that's the nice thing about having the legs where they just sit on the mat at first, because you can play with your adjustment before you go in and set it permanently. I'm just going to feed it in. And again, I can trickle it, keep my feed rate slow. If I'm in a real high gold area, I'm going to trickle it in. We've got rocks in here that are up to 3 inches. We didn't screen or classify this, but we did just pull out any huge boulders out of it. There's a couple big rocks in here. And again, your big rocks will roll out. If you want to clean it out, you can clean it out, but I really like the way this looks. Now this is real heavy clay material today. When I put this material in, it's just looking like mud when it's coming down through. But if you're going to run this electric, my recommendation is you pre-classify your material to about 1.5 inch, maybe 2, maybe even 1. Just make it work a little bit easier. Now I've got my slope on this box pretty low, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to work it by hand, but I want to test this unit on different angles. If I increase my pitch up a little bit, the rocks are going to go faster, so let me move it up just a little bit. Again, I can adjust this on the fly. If I'm putting material in here and I see that my rocks aren't clearing out enough, I can adjust this up, increase my water speed, whatever I want to do. But I have that pump on idle right now. Here, feed some dirt in just like I was doing. But I really want you to see what happens. But I mean, as fast as he can shovel it, pretty much that's what we're running. And you can see how the mat, again, this is your active exchange. As soon as he stops, you'll see the mat turn black and exchange out. Now to trickle it more so than dump it. Now you can see how muddy and murky that clay water is in here. You go a little bit faster. So I mean, we've been here, what, 3 or 4 minutes, and I've been blabbering, and Tom's been here shoveling, and we got 2 buckets of material already run. So there's your 2 buckets of material already run. Again, it's about a minute per bucket, so you're probably looking at 60 buckets per hour. And that's what your mat looks like. Nice exchange rate. Particles are dancing in here. I don't have rocks hanging up in here. Everything looks good. Again, I might want this water speed a little bit higher. It's not water volume, it's water speed. But now I'm going to shut it off and I'm going to show you how we clean it up. Whew. Okay, so we just did a run of the Excavator, by the way, is the name of it. I didn't even say the name of it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean out the mat and show you how easy it is. Now the mat's only the mat's only 8 inches wide, so you don't need a lot of water in your bucket. But all you're going to do is just take this screen out the back, and there's a thumb clip up inside of here, as you've seen, and I'll show you again. But you just sort of turn your mat. I'm going to lock these legs into place here. I'm going to lock that box into place, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to tilt my mat a little bit, lift up the thumb clip, and I'm going to take the whole mat out and I'm going to put it in the bucket. Now, all you do when you clean out your mat, and this is the beauty of this matting, is you just go 1, 2, 3. Now you're going to reverse roll it and open up those grooves. So now while it's in the bucket, I'm going to reverse roll it. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to reverse roll it the other way really tight, opening up those grooves. Because that gold will get stuck in those little, there's sub channels, there's protective sub grooves way down in this thing that are really, really micro scale. So you really want to open them up. And my mat's clean, and I'm pretty much done with that. So that's all my cons in the bucket from 2 of them. And I'll probably go ahead and get my pan real quick, and I'll just pan this out and see if we caught anything. There really isn't a whole lot of gold in this dirt probably. But I did want to show you, out of 2 buckets of material, I have half a cup or 3/4 of a cup of cons, versus if I did that with like a miner's moss, I'd have 2 inches of cons in this bucket, which is nice. So I've only got that much to pan out, and I can already see there's a ton of black sand in there. So let me grab my pan and we'll check it out. That's pretty much it. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to pan in the creek, straight into the creek. Like I said, it's only 2 buckets of material. One thing that you will notice is on my cons is that there's no large rocks in the cons, which is nice. Everything is 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch or smaller. So I don't think, we may have a couple small pieces of gold in here, just running 2 buckets through in 3 or 4 minutes. But I did want to try and, we'll see if we can get something here. I don't know. Teeny piece right at the tip of my finger, that's -50, and there's another piece that you can't see that's -100. There's a little 50 right there. That's real hard to see. But there's 100s around it. There's a little piece over here. There's a nice little chunker right there. There's a nice piece of, there's a nice chunker. There's a piece, there's a 50 right there. There's 100s I'm already seeing in there. That's actually not bad though. I mean, you look at it, there's a nice little chunk right there. There's a couple of probably -30s sitting right there at the top of my finger, and then there's 50s and 100s all back in here. So 2 buckets of material, some little yellow. That's not bad. 2 buckets of material, and we probably got about 20 pieces of gold in it, from the -100 down to the minus, up to maybe a piece of a -20. So that's a real neat piece. But what I want to show you now is I want to show you how quickly this thing disassembles, and that's one of the nice things about it too. All right, and so again, this is one of those things that I like, because this is the easiest thing, is to is to get your gear back in the truck. So I've just got a bucket. I'm going to throw it all in here. Now when I take this out, all I do is I spin it. It releases. Let my legs come up. Let my braces come up, I should say. These little side braces come up. Side braces tuck right into here. I'm going to let the box will slide right into here. Nice and neat. Take your legs. Drop your legs. Legs drop off. Loosen it up. Legs drop off. Pick up your legs. You would put your matting inside of here, put your legs inside of here, take your pose off, the plumbing. That'll slide up in here, and so except for my matting that's sitting over here, here's my entire unit. This is my entire unit. 17 pounds. It can run over a ton of material an hour. It's amazing, it really is. So now I can throw this into a bag if I want, put it on my shoulder, and I'm off with one little pump. So that's why this thing, I'm telling you, out of everything we've done, this is just amazing to me. So anyways, that's it. I'm pretty much done and I can move. And this nice thing about this is we've got 2 commercial operations that are actually using this for field testing now. I sent them out 2 prototypes. They're running out to a field, they're doing a field test, boom, they're doing a test. Same thing, if you're gonna dredge a creek, take this unit, pop off, run it real quick, go to the next spot, next spot, next spot. Very, very mobile, very, very portable, but again, very high production. Real great unit, the Excavator.